Okay, now we're going to take a look at something I call maintaining the point of attack in the run game. Um, why do we want to do this? Why do we want to stay where we are when we're running the football in a particular situation? Well, we're doing it for a couple of reasons. Number one, we may feel that in this situation, we're going to run the ball here to the open side, to the left. This would be our 23 lead power, okay? And I'll explain to you why sometimes it's lead, sometimes it's power, and how we make that adjustment. And actually that adjustment is how we manage to stay with the 23 no matter what happens over here defensively. Now again, why do we want to do this? Why do we want to maintain the point of attack? Well, there are a couple of reasons. Certainly the first one, and one that's very important, is that we may feel that our left tackle and left guard in this instance, or our people over here, are better than their people here. We may not feel that way over here. Maybe this guy, maybe this end, maybe he's a stud, and we want to stay away from him. Okay? So let's look first at the fact that we want to run here for whatever reason. Okay? And how do we do that? Well, here's what we do. The blocking scheme here, and this starts out against an overlook, what everybody calls an over, and that's with the reduced side in a 4-3. To our open side, we've got the A gap player. We call him the anchor. We know he's in the A gap. He may be in a 1, he may be in a gap, he may be in a 2, but we know he's the A gap player. And away from it is our bandit or the B gap player, and we know he's in a 3, he's in the B gap, or he's in a 4 tech. So we know he's in there somewhere. Okay? So blocking scheme, very simple. Left guard and center are going to combo the anchor to the Mike backer. Here we're going to go with the right guard and right tackle to the bandit, to the Sam. You see the blocking scheme on the back side. Very simply, we're going to run our lead play. All right? We're going to run 23 lead. And we're going to run it with our fullback on their will backer. We're going to reach. We're going to try to reach with our left tackle. If we can't reach, if we can't get the reach, we're going to maintain contact, and we're going to swivel our hips and try and drive him to the sideline. Okay, that's great. But here's what happened years ago. People would take this will backer and walk him up here. Okay, now we've got a problem running this play because the collision is going to happen here, and it's going to muck the play up. We're just not going to be able to get it off with any consistency, and we're not going to be able to be very clean in keeping it. Okay, so here's what we decided to do. We said any time the B gap was empty, and you see that here, there's no one in the B gap here, then we were going to run lead. And that's what I've shown you here. Okay? That's what we were going to do. But if we got an instance where we got a walk-up backer or somebody occupied the B gap, then we were going to make a change. And we were going to make that change our lead play. And here it's 23 lead. Over here would be 24 lead. But here it's 23 lead. We call that play lion, L, lead lion, okay? But we have that B gap occupied at the line of scrimmage. We're going to make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage with two players, the fullback and that left tackle. Everybody else is going to maintain what they're doing. We'll get the same push crack out here against too high. Nothing will change. The only thing that's different is we will take this left tackle and we will ask him to come down here on that B gap player. And then we'll ask our fullback to come on out here and take that last man on the line of scrimmage, the defensive end. Now we wind up with a power, and we call that Panther. So we go from lion, lead, to power, Panther, okay? And we've done it very simply by asking two people to make the adjustment. Now our tailback, and we expect our tailback have great eyes, but he's heard the call, Lion, Panther, and of course our guys are going to make Lion, Panther calls on plays that are not going there so the defense doesn't get tipped off. Okay? We're going to make a lot of calls, false calls, to keep people off balance. All right? So now what happens here is the read becomes, we feel pretty good about all this down here. We're going to wash this stuff down. We feel good with our tackle coming down on the Will Backer. We feel good about all of this. We think we're in great shape. Okay? The block that becomes important now is how does the fullback attack this defensive end? Well, that depends on the defensive end. If that defensive end is an up the field guy, okay, he doesn't care that we block down. He's going to come up the field, then we're going to kick him out, and our tailback's going to come up here and gas this thing. Okay? Now, if that end is a squeeze guy, and he's going to step down in here because we blocked down, now we're going to ask our fullback to get on his outside leg. We're going to log him, and our tailback's going to plant his foot, put a hump in it, and we're out here in open space. Okay? Now, we can't tell our guys what that end is going to do. We don't know. Obviously, scouting, we're going to have a pretty good idea. Okay? And again, here's another reason why we may say we want to stay here. We may want to stay here because this guy, we know, is a pass rusher. You know, backside guy, open side end. He may be a guy who's always up here. Well, we like that because we are going to establish a great run lane for our tailback. When we kick out here and our tailback's up in here, we wind up with some great space. Okay? Some great space. So here he goes. Here's our tailback gashing this thing, coming in behind the down block, and there he goes. So there we are. That's how we handle people changing and walking their Will Backer up to try to take that play away. Now, we also have talked about our Omaha call, which would take us from a 23 to a 24, but that's a whole nother thing. Here, we want to run here, and we're not going to let you discourage us from doing that. All right? Okay, now, same play. We come up, and we're going to run 23 lead, but now you come out in an under. Your anchor is over here. You've walked your Sam up. You've kicked yourself down into an under look. Some people call it a 52, a shade, whatever you call it. You know, that's an NFL. That's a 4-3 under look. Okay? Now we want to run here. We know we've already got somebody in the B gap. We've got a 3-tech here, a bandit, B gap player, bandit. Well, now we know we're running Panther. All right from the line of scrimmage. We knew this as soon as we came up. We were going to run Panther. We're going to stay here. We want to attack this. Remember, this defensive end is a guy we want to get after. All the same things apply here. Nothing is different. We're down on the B-gap player. We're comboing here to there. We're comboing here to there. We're on that. We're on that. We've got a push crack here against too high. And now, again, we're going to read this defensive end. Same thing we talked about previously against the over. This defensive end is up the field. Our fullback's going to kick him out. And we're getting up in here, and we're gone. Okay, we're gone. If he's a squeezer, and he steps down with our tackle, then we're going to get out on his outside leg. We're going to log him, and our tailback's going to put a hump in it, and we're out here in space. We don't care. We don't care how you played on defense, but we can attack you there. We're committed to running that play for a reason, and I'll go back to that reason. Maybe this guy is just an absolute stud over here, and we want to stay away from him. Okay, we want to stay away from him. Now, if he's a guy that they move from side to side, that's when we want to use our Omaha call, our opposite call. And we'll get into that in another session. All right, that's when we get to our most simple play check. All right, but for this, we're looking to maintain a point of attack here, and we're looking to stay over here and keep that point of attack. Okay.